Okay. I can't see what you're doing when you reach over there. What are you doing there?
Oh, I put up a video camera so I can record this, what I'm saying, because, you know, for documentation.
Okay, well, let's have our nurse come on in for a second.
Okay, do you want me to go knock on the door or go holler at her or something? Okay, cool, no problem. Excuse me, ma'am?
Yes.
Are you the nurse that just brought me in?
Yes.
Yes, if you come back in, please.
All right.
She's coming, she says she'll be here in just 1 second, sir.
Okay. Sarah, our good client there,
I see
Sorry,
you
I
there.
understand everybody.
John was saying that he's recording, and I prefer people not recording our visit. I'm wondering what we can do here.
Let's see.
See, what I'm doing is I'm making a documentary about the trafficking of my child and how the state of Virginia has not only participated in it, but also profited off of it. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Because, you know, if what they're doing so bad, that, can I take this off? Can you hear me okay?
No, I can, but since our nurse is
Okay, all
here.
right. So in 2015,
I think that, so this is more of like a doctor's appointment,
That's
so
fine.
I don't think you need to have the video camera recording for that. Would you be okay with just turning it off for the appointment?
I document a lot of stuff. Because if he's going to start hearing, it say nothing against him or you or no one else, but if he's going to start hearing incriminating stuff about the state, about how they've been making money off of what they've been doing illegally, then, you know, it needs to be documented.
Yeah. I guess we need to turn off the video if I'm going to continue here.
So I refuse medical attention unless I don't document it.
Could you say what he said, Sarah? I couldn't hear.
He said that, so if he's refusing the medical attention if he's not documenting it.
No,
Is that what?
I'm being refused medical attention
No.
if I document it.
Oh, no, we'll certainly see you, but I don't think we can record it. I don't know if that's...
If it's HIPAA, I'm the one who would be signing any release anyway. It's not like this is a third party introducing this. I'm the person whose privacy is being protected.
Right. I'm just not comfortable recording our visit.
Why would that be, sir?
Just in my general policy. But I'd be happy to see you. I'd love to continue seeing you.
I can't go without stuff being documented at this point, you know? And this is all related to why I'm trying to make the police shoot me. You know, this is all hand in hand, that the state, and you know, I don't want to say, I don't know enough to say who specifically, which entities have profited how, to what amount. I'm going to find that out.
So-
But at the point that the state has purposely broken the law and made my life unlivable to the point that I'm doing this, it needs
Okay, well,
to...
let's take our next step here. And Sarah, I think what probably the next step is just to maybe have him go to Access to make sure that he is safe and reschedule, you know, if he is safe, probably be the best thing.
Okay. So...
Because I don't go much further here.
Okay. All right. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna have you talk to somebody on the phone.
You want me to go downstairs or you want me to talk on the phone?
We can use the phone and do it.
Okay.
Make sure you're okay. Make sure you're safe.
How would this not be?
Because you're not wanting to, we can't see you with the recording on.
Take the recorder right here. There's another camera right here next to it.
We'll certainly see you if we can turn the camera off.
This is my privacy that I'm voluntarily giving up.
Okay.
So I don't think we're going to get too far here. But as long as Access feels he's safe and wants to reschedule, I'm more than happy to do that.
Am I free to leave? Or am I being detained at this point?
Look, are you, this is just a medical appointment.
Well, I know
Do you feel-
if you're immediately contacting Access, I just wonder if I'm being detained or, you know. That's fine because they've locked me up before for telling them the truth, which was the state's policy, which I have all the documentation right there to prove. So they were on my list of people to see anyway.
Okay.
But
That might be the next best step, sir.
Okay. All right. If you'll
I will
just-
stay right here by my computer if you need.
Okay, if you'll stay right here,
Okay.
I'll be back, okay?
Okay, sir, I'm just gonna turn this off unless she needs me again, okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna stay right here by the computer.
okay.
since Dr. Idle isn't seeing you, would you be okay with me to have you just be screened by Access, just ask you a couple questions, make sure you're okay, since we didn't have the appointment today. I just don't want you to leave and like feel like, you know, you're not okay. Do you feel like, would you be okay with that?
Well, sure, you can bring them in. Or would you like me to go down there?
Well, I probably have to call them on the phone, because I can't, I got.
Okay, as long as they don't have a problem being on speakerphone.
Okay,
So the conversations, you know,
okay, well, if you don't mind waiting a couple minutes.
That's fine, do what you gotta do.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
that's
but-
no problem.
Okay, all right, I'll be back, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to update you, okay?
Yes, ma'am. It's just gonna burn out.
Let's try this.
I do like this computer system y'all have, because they had the computer
very
like that at the
Uh-huh.
hospital too.
I'll be right back. I'm just gonna look, check her name because I wanna make sure I'm calling the right person.
Okay, of course.
Sorry.
No problem.
Work. This is John, and he does have,
John,
just so you know, he does have a camera on.
I hope my hair looks good today, John.
You look beautiful, ma'am.
Oh, thank you.
If you'll just
Okay.
let me know or send me a email when you're done, or if you need me, or he can come and grab me. I'm just down the hall.
Sure. Will do. So, Mr. Ashley, I'm sorry that things seem to be going off here for you today. I understand you came in to see Dr. Idle. You felt pretty strongly, it feels like, about recording the session, and obviously that's not something we typically allow. And I think you just wanted to make sure you were okay. So can you just tell me a little bit about what brought you in and what you think we could do to kind of get you headed toward getting some additional support?
Oh, certainly. All right, ma'am. So, I'm from Colorado. 12 years ago. You know, is she gone? Can I take it off? Can I take my mask off if she's gone?
If she's not there, you
Okay.
can.
I never know how loud people can hear me, like whether I'm yelling or being quiet or... All right, so I'm from Colorado. I moved here 12 years ago. My kid's mom had come here while she was pregnant, and she gave my child some distant relatives. She'd never met them before, right? And I was told in court, I got the transcripts, that I built a relationship with my son that I could, I'm sorry, I mean, I'll move my chairs and I had to, anyway. So, I'm a YouTube, I make movies, I've made movies for years, like my little hobby. And this is just like a passionate subject for me. But, so my kid's mom came out here when she was pregnant, and she had my child and she gave it to these distant relatives that she had never met until she had come out here. It's the mom's cousin, not the kid's mom, the mom's cousin. My son's grandma's cousin is the one who has custody of him now. And so I've been out here for 12 years, and I have done literally everything possible to get my son. I have never failed a drug test. I have been in compliance pop. I haven't gotten in any legal trouble. I've always maintained my own residence and all that. But the custodians are allowed to just continually break the law against me. And it don't matter. Because, let me just tell you this real quick off the bat. You go look at my Facebook page. I got video of the state police looking over paperwork and saying, oh, this is illegal, this is illegal, this is illegal. So no point do you have to take my word that any of this is illegal. You can go watch the state police say it's illegal. But the important part of that video is they finish off by saying, but we won't help you. So
you've been here, you don't have custody of the children, you've done everything.
well, it's not that. It's I have no family. I have no support system. People here compulsively treat me like trash. And that's probably about half my problem right there. But the other half of the problem is I don't have civil rights. I should be able to be protected by the state. If I can prove a crime, why can't it be prosecuted? Well, in 2015, and this is going to be a big deal with this video camera here. In 2015, I went to the hospital to try to get anxiety medication. I think I have like some form of PTSD. That's what I think. Every doctor says I got something different. This doesn't seem to be much consistency. So if they're just guessing, I might as well guess too, right? But a couple of them have said something along those lines. And, like things have happened to me like that I physically felt, you know, getting served with papers, and you know, these people are really bad. The people that have my kid, I've been accused of molesting him 4 different times, and producing internet porn and all that stuff. They don't know that's not the type of thing they would ever get in trouble for. But I get put through the ringer every time. Of course, I've never been charged, convicted, or anything else. But
Right.
it's not that it's not an unstressful situation for me. And it's happened.
So, I'm sorry, can I just kind of summarize what we're talking about, make sure I'm all clear? So you're not from Virginia originally, came here from Colorado, you don't have custody of your kids, and you're in a situation where you feel like the people who do have custody have really manipulated and done the law and done things that are very illegal to keep you from having access to your kids. You've done everything you can to comply, and you don't feel support. You don't have any family or real support system.
Actually, you got that a little bit wrong. I have this piece of paper here. I want to just, let me grab this. I have it written down. I don't want to tell you the wrong. I don't want to zig when I should have zagged and say the wrong thing to you. It's not that they necessarily have, they have maliciously gone after me and done this, but the important part is that the state allows it. So, Social Security Act, Title IV, Part D. It is Section 458. And what that says is, it is a sliding scale on the efficiency of the state collecting child support, right? The higher efficiency rate they have collecting it, the higher percentage they get. But it starts off at 100%. They collect 100% of the child support. The federal government will then give them 100% of the money that they had collected for a state budget. All right? I say that and it gets all scratchy. That's crazy. So that's why it's allowed to do it. Because if they can separate a child from a parent, then they can get more money. So that's why the people are allowed to break the law against me, is because the state makes money off of it. Now, I'd like to speak to you about 2015. I also have that paper.
Mr. Ashley, can we back up just a second, because I want to make sure we don't miss kind of what's happening today. You've got all the stuff you've been through, and it sounds like it has been really going on for a long time. It's really been tough. Today, you came in for this follow-up with Dr. Idle. He didn't feel comfortable. It's not our normal process. And I would say, I really don't want you to post this to your Facebook page, because I would like my privacy too. But what is going on today, and do you think there's something else? If you're not going to see Dr. Idle, what plan do we have to make sure we continue?
This bill right here. Now, the state's broken the law against me. We can watch the state police say that they have broken the law against me. And I'd like to bring up in 2015, when I was put on a TDO for saying the state's policy. And whoever heard that, whichever access worker it was, because if nothing the state's done to me has been wrong, like the state tells me, when I repeat it, I have all the paperwork to prove my story. When I repeat it to Access, they say it's not possible. Then a magistrate signs off on it and puts me in a hospital. So then you get to have a little, it's a tally for the budget, the funding they get, right? So now I'm included as a mentally ill person for repeating the state's policy, to which the state is now charging me money. You charge me then.
Is that the bill you received from us?
This is from the New River Valley Community Services.
That's us. So what does that bill say?
You want me to hold it up for you? It's 12.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Can you see it?
Oh, I don't know if I can see it. So, have you talked to somebody to get this? Yeah, that was for accessing you. It sounds like you went to the hospital more recently in 2015. That's what we started.
No, but see, the issue is that y'all made money, the state made money off of the state breaking the law against me. Now this is called RICO. This is organized crime. We have the state police, we got the state police looking at the evidence, saying that crimes were committed against me. We have Access putting me in a mental hospital for repeating the state's policy against me. Repeating the state's policy, which is the state's policy is so absurd, I guess, that not only Access, but also a magistrate sign off on this, okay? So now you've put me into a situation where in 2021, I'm trying to kill myself. And what do? Because you put me in this situation where I've tried to kill myself, you want to charge me $1,200. And on top of that, I guarantee you're going to use me for state funding multiple times.
Okay. So that's not entirely how things work on our end, but there's a couple things. Let me just divert to the bill for just a second.
Okay.
We can, if you have not talked with anybody from our reimbursement department, we can get you connected with them, or I can have them give you a call. We can get that fee reduced, because it looks like it's over $1,000 right now, and we'll take care of getting that bill reduced for you, so you won't owe that. When you're talking about sliding scale or something for Social Security, we actually have a sliding scale. We'll look at that. We can get that bill taken care of. I would be very upset if I...
Well, I mean, if your sliding scale is based on efficiency, like the Social Security Act is based on efficiency, then y'all shouldn't be getting nothing, because I'm getting in worse situations every time I'm in contact with you and you refuse to help me. How is the state going to know that the state's breaking the law? Because we can look, like, that's the thing. In 2015, when they took me, and everything I said was crazy, they said I was schizophrenic and delusional and all kinds of crazy stuff. They shot me up with drugs because they didn't believe my story, or because I was too upset about the state breaking the law against me to try to get money, which I think should be allowed to be upset about that. But either way, they told me this different ways. And I've got my paperwork, but everyone, those are like the two options, right? Is either they didn't believe my story and I'm crazy, or I was too upset about my child being kept from me so that the state can acquire funding. Because here's the thing, I've never done one thing that social services could take my child from me. Never. So the only, you understand what I'm saying? If I've never done anything that the state could take my child from me, but they've chosen to keep him from me.
So here's what I'm guessing, because you went to a hospital, people were saying because you're trying to undo the wrong you think the state's done to you, that makes you mentally ill. I think that when you talk to me and you're saying RICO and that these people were in kind of collusion, I think that's...
Did not say collusion. Did not say collusion. I'm just saying the state, I'm going to say as a broad statement across the entire United States, because all the funding, this is a federal bill, so every state gets the funding from it. It's not like it's solely a Virginia thing. I'm saying that's why no one can ever be charged with perjury in family court. When complete strangers can continually lie about a child's parent until the court says that the parent isn't the parent anymore, but they can still get their funding. Oh, I can still be put...
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you was... Okay, my bad, go ahead.
I am going to say things. Sometimes I just have to take a minute before I say it, make sure I don't want to say it.
I understand.
I guess today what we're trying to figure out, this has been this ongoing situation. When you talk to me, I do think it feels a little bit it's hard for me to believe everything that you're saying, and I know you've experienced it, so it's different for you.
That's why I got my paperwork, ma'am.
Right, so Dr. Idle really wanted us to touch base and make sure that, like, you're gonna be safe right now if you go home, and I'm also worried, did you come out of the hospital with medication?
Yes. That's, in fact, that was the reason I was here, was so I could continue to get the medication.
So you're not gonna be able to see one of our doctors and film that, so how do we get your medication ongoing if we're kind of stuck in this place where?
Well, at this point, ma'am, just because, you know, I plan stuff out, and then putting me here on the phone with you here, kind of jumped a couple steps. So actually what I'd like all my money back that y'all have collected from me. And once again, if y'all getting money off of me being a crime victim from the state's protecting, you know, the state won't prosecute, but now the state agencies are getting paid because of this, I'm going to need a bit more. It's not even for me. It's that y'all need to not have it because of y'all's participation. It seems that y'all know this since 2015, and I've tried to get where when it came to light in 2015 that what I said wasn't delusional ramblings, because I have all my documentation, right? Where did Access or the hospital contact the state and say that there's some type of confusion with their policy where you guys, or whoever, I'm not saying you, but no, whoever, is thinking someone is mentally ill for repeating the state policy, right? So how many other people have been locked up for repeating state policies?
So I guess I'm worried because I can't follow your thinking, and it does make me worried that maybe you're having some symptoms right now. I gotta be honest. And we haven't received any money. I mean, we would have, I'm gonna look at your account to see if we've received anything. I'm not sure what monies you're talking about. Let me look at your account real quick, okay? While we're on the phone here, or the video, I'm not real good with multiple screens.
You just take your time, ma'am. You don't come to my job and tell me how to do it, I won't come to yours.
So, let's see.
By the way, I'm just curious, which part of my story don't you believe?
I'm struggling with the kind of, you said it wouldn't be collusion, but it seems like you feel like we're connected to a lot of other systems, and that somehow you're in contact and your struggle around the way you're being treated with your children and your interaction with the state police is also connected to us because we are a contractual agent of the state.
The interaction with the state police was only to verify from the police's standpoint that I wasn't. It's one thing for me to say I'm a crime victim, but it's something else for me to say, hey, I have a video of the police. And actually I have quite a few videos of the police. That's just the one that I have on Facebook, right? But it's just to say, look, here's what, you don't have to believe me. Watch what the police say, right? Because I understand that I might not be credible. Now, do I think that like you and like a judge in, you know, a family court are like on the phone talking to each other like, oh yeah, let's do this, let's do that? Absolutely not. Do I think the person who is your boss's 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 boss and that person that is his boss's boss's boss sat in the same budget meeting and listened about how they need to do something to make money, and then the orders get passed down?
So what I'm struggling with, and I don't want to spend all of our time together on this, but I don't know how you're being hospitalized or any of that makes money for our organization.
It's funny, y'all have so.
Because you got that bill, but I just told you we're going on that bill.
Well, that bill is that bill is not for you guys. That's money just given directly to the state. That has nothing to do.
It is our bill. That's actually our bill.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant this Social Security bill. This bill right here.
No, that is our bill. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Like I said, I thought you meant the legislative bill, or the budget bill, not the actual bill.
Sorry, I misspoke. So, backing up. We're still, I can do a couple things here. One is I will contact reimbursement about the invoice bill.
I prefer you not. I prefer to be able to walk around and say that the state's charging me $1,200 for being a crime victim. And how that has pushed me. Because, see, it's crazy how every time I talk to these doctors, and I sit there and tell them what's happened to me, because I always have to have my paperwork to prove it, because no one ever believes me. And then they're like,
I believe that you have paperwork that convinces you that this is true. I haven't seen that. I believe you believe everything that you're telling me. It's a bit of a leap for me, and I'm just trying to be completely transparent. But I guess the question is, you know, you went to the hospital, you didn't want to, but they put you in the hospital because they really thought this was a problem with your thinking or a mental illness, and you might be at risk of hurting yourself or somebody else. In this moment today, do I have to worry that you're at risk of hurting yourself or anybody else?
no, I'm making movies. I'm exposing you guys. I mean, I guess technically I might be hurting someone else because I'm going after the budget and I'm trying to expose how the system is working behind closed doors. I guess we say it like that. But as to physically or illegally, anything like that, no.
Because I'll be honest, what Dr. Arnold wanted me to do was to make sure it was safe for you to go home.
Oh, yeah, I know, and isn't that crazy? As soon as I say, no, I'm concerned about how this money's going, he can't talk to me no more.
No, it's not about money at all. And I know that's how it feels to you, but it's really not. It's about wanting to make sure that you are safe.
Maybe for you it's about that, but not for your boss's 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 boss. Because all these other times, when all these crimes are getting broken against me, or when people are allowed to go on court line, when there are people allowed to continually call me a pedophile and stuff, I'm in potential for being harmed then too. But at no point then does the state come in. Why is that?
So can we back up? Because I don't want to. I can't fix the state piece for you either. I think you know that. But
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, I'm filmmaking. I don't expect you to wave a magic wand or do anything, but I'm still going to expose it.
what I'd like to get back to is, do you think it's safe for you to leave the clinic? If you leave the clinic, do I need to?
You weren't worried about me when other people were hurting me, so I don't know why you would worry about me hurting me.
I am worried about you hurting me.
Why would I hurt
And I'm
me?
worried that you answer my question with not really an answer. So
I think that's a very legitimate answer. I've been continually lied about. I've gone through stuff that you can't even imagine. You know.
I bet that's.
And,
I mean, I believe.
And I've done it 100% by myself when the rest of my community is standing there waiting to stab me in the back.
Well, and the reason I
You know,
said to be so
like
upfront-
6 months after I moved here, my house got broken into and everything I owned stolen. I work construction, all my tools gone. Literally everything I owned was gone.
Okay. So you've had some hideous experiences on lots of different levels. You've been a crime victim in a lot of different ways. It sounds like you feel like the state has made you a victim. You've physically been robbed of some of your belongings. That makes you a crime victim. That must have been horrible. You've had lots of experiences. You're right. I don't have any idea. My concern is I need to know where we are today and how we...
Well, to be honest, ma'am, I would say the state, regardless of how I feel, which I do not want to hurt myself or anyone else, but if I did, I think the state has almost given up their right to enforce anything against me because you have solely put me in this situation. And not you, of course, but the state of Virginia, 6 September.
Right, so if you are at risk, though, I'm a professional counselor. And as a professional counselor, if you are at risk or you can't say, yeah, I'm sure I'll be safe, that puts me in a position where we start this whole process over of asking our emergency services staff to talk to you. And I don't think you want to go back to the hospital. So that's what I'm trying to make sure is that you don't want to go to the hospital right now and that we figure out a way that you either would feel comfortable seeing one of our doctors without filming it, or we can do something else to get you your medicine and help you stay out of the hospital. That's my goal right now.
I'm sorry, was there a question to that or?
No, I'm just telling you
Okay,
where
okay,
I'm at.
all right.
And I guess what I'm really trying to establish is whether I need to be worried about you hurting yourself or somebody else, and I don't.
Well,
wanna-
I mean, let's be real, ma'am. In 2015, after I got out of the hospital, and I filed a complaint about them taking me for repeating the state's policy, they tried to lock me up again. So I can't even be upset about the state locking me up for repeating the state's policy without getting locked up again. And that's my true opinion of Access.
Okay.
I honestly, as soon as they said when the other doctor said one thing about Access, I immediately assumed I wasn't going to walk out of here with not in handcuffs. That's what the word Access means to me.
Okay, well,
Anytime I come in contact with you guys, I can't even file a complaint without you wanting to come and take me for filing a complaint. And you know what sucked about that? There was a couple people in the room when I was doing this, and one of them got up and walked off. About 5 minutes later, he never came back. And I asked him, I said, is he like calling the cops for some reason? I'm just sitting here talking. Just like I am. See, if I was going to act crazy or act in any type of foolish, belligerent manner, I definitely would have brought a camera to document myself doing it. That's bad policy, I guess. So, but like I said, they reassured me. The other two people in the room reassured me, Johnny, you haven't done anything wrong. You haven't said anything out of the way. Guess what? Even though they said that, that did not stop that other guy from calling the police mobbing up on me, cuffing me up, cuffing and stuffing me, taking me down to the hospital, and then you cut me loose.
so I don't want that to happen again. So what I hear you saying is every time you have an interaction with Access, you end up going through this involuntary process and being in handcuffs. I want this to go a different place today, our conversation.
See, are you insinuating that that's the way it's going to go? I've already said like 3 times I don't want to hurt myself or anyone else, but you kind of keep insinuating that this is where it's going to go. And why is that? How much funding would you receive if you could make me another little tally mark again?
So, Mr. Esha, you just said, I've told you 3 times I'm not going to hurt myself or anybody else. When you said that before, that wasn't clear to me. So I'm willing to absolutely believe you. I hear you saying to me very clearly now, I'm not going to hurt myself or anybody else. So my only second question to that is, because I don't want you to leave their handcuffs either. How do we get you?
I like how it is even an option for that I would leave in handcuffs. When I've just come here, I've calmly sat with you, and even though, now if you was like here, we could sit across the table, I could be like, hey, look at this paper, this is where it says here, this is what it says there, and I could, it'd be easy to verify. I don't want to be holding stuff up in front of your little camera. You don't want to try to read something up I'm holding up in front of the little camera,
Well, and I'm not, my eyes don't work the greatest.
Like I said, like that wouldn't be the way to go about this. But
So you're not gonna do anything to hurt yourself or somebody else. How do we get you? How would it?
well, let me ask you this: why aren't you hospitalizing the people who have harmed me? That's what I'm concerned about. Why haven't they been hospitalized? Well, how is if you're concerned about me harming someone else? How is saying that I've molested my child 4 different times not harming me?
So I don't have any control or no anything.
No, that is harming me. That is putting me, in physical danger, and it's depriving me of my constitutional civil rights of freedom. If you're locked up in jail, you don't have a lot of rights. So.
And we just talked about, John, that I can't fix that for you.
No. But that's my question. That why is it an option? You continually say, we don't want you leaving handcuffs. We don't want you leaving handcuffs. You keep saying handcuffs. But why is it only me? Why could it not be them? Why not one time can it be the people who have continually lied about me and tried to have me falsely arrested? Why is it never even an option that they leave in handcuffs? It's only me. Go ahead. No, because that's a danger to me, okay? If you want to take my freedom away from me, you explain that to me. How would that be different than if some other hypothetical person, not me, some other person abducts someone, throws them in their trunk, and does whatever, right? They have deprived them of their freedom. They've taken them from their family. It's literally the exact same thing. If someone, not me, but someone else was sitting in this chair and looked at you and said, I am going to abduct someone, I bet you then you'd be like, hey, yo, something needs to happen with this guy. He has said he's going to harm someone. But when someone's trying to do it to me, it's okay. I want to know why it's okay to do it to me. I want to know why.
I'm really upset. I really upset you, and I can't answer.
No, I'm not upset at all, man. I'm not upset at all. I just only want to know, why do you protect these people? You could go after them. They are a danger to me. They have committed crime after crime against me that the state police and other police agencies have confirmed is crimes. But yet that's okay, right? Say it's okay for them to break the law against me.
It is
Say it.
not okay for anybody to commit.
Now, why are you not going after them like you go after me? No, I want an explanation. Say to the camera about why you don't go after them the same way that you go after me. That they can break the law against me. 4 times I've been accused of molesting my child and putting child pornography on the internet.
John, I'm not in the role of law enforcement. I'm not really.
I'm not asking you to be in a role of law enforcement. I'm asking you, as a mental health professional, to stop someone from harming someone else. Why are you not doing it? They've harmed me. I have a mental disorder over this now. I'm like, according to what they said to me about me in 2015, I'm delusionally schizophrenic or something. That's how bad they've treated me. That's how many laws they've broken against me. That's how much I've been rubbed in the dirt. But it's okay for them to do it, and the state will refuse to protect me. And you as a state, come on, let's hear it.
I'm not the state, John, and I don't think this.
You could call the police on me and have them put me in handcuffs, but you can't do it to them. Why not?
I don't know who them is, and I don't have any control over that. So my concern.
How do you not have control over it? If you have control over me, how do you not have control over them?
I don't even know who them are, but this is not helpful, or I can't fix this for you. My question is, when you leave here today, are you going to be
I
okay?
tell you, when I leave this chair, I'm just going to walk right down to the access office. We'll just start asking them.
Well, there's nobody down there to walk down and ask.
Okay, well,
So-
I guess you win that one.
My thought is, when you leave the building, then you go home today. Are you going to be okay? I've heard you say yes.
I don't know, I might become a crime victim though, because we don't know if that would happen. And we definitely can't stop the people who would break the law against me or try to harm me, right?
I feel like this is just a circular conversation, John, and
I just want to know why you won't do nothing about it. I mean, they're a danger to me. You know what happens to people when they go to prison for molesting kids? I've been to prison. I've seen it. Honestly, I've had to bounce a dude out myself for being a child molester. So I know exactly how them people get treated. So you want to tell me how I'm not in danger and how it's not a danger to me for these people to have the golden keys just to go up and say whatever they want about me with zero repercussion. And your mental health, your mental health, these people, they've kept doing it, they've done it, and done it, and done it, and done it. It's like, how many times do I have to be accused of this before it is a problem? When does it become a danger to someone else?
Okay, John. I don't want to have to call the police to check on you, and I'm at that spot where I'm going to have to, because I don't think I can establish how we're going to take care of you or support you with what you're struggling with, and I can't fix
Sir,
it.
you've categorically refused to help me, and you've just refused this whole time. In fact, the only option to help me has been to call the police. Now, you didn't
No,
say,
I'd like to get you.
and you didn't say,
Like
hey, let me see that paperwork. Oh my God, these people did this stuff to you? Let me see that paperwork. They are a danger to you.
So, John, I think what I'm struggling with is talking.
You know what I went to the hospital for, right? You know what I went for, right? Like, what specific action I did?
I do not.
I tried to make the police shoot me. So would you really want to call them on me? when I've only come here and asked you to please protect me because these people have been, like, committing crimes against me. You can check the evidence yourself of the state police doing it, you know, looking at the paperwork, you know, but...
So, if you don't want to go to the hospital, all I need you to do is tell me, I'm safe, I'm going home, and let's get a follow-up plan for you to see a psychiatrist for your medication. That is the only thing I'm trying to navigate here with you, is are you willing to see a psychiatrist and not videotape it? I
No,
mean, is that
absolutely
fine?
not. Because I want to prove that anyone involved in this, see, it's bothering me that these people that, like, I don't know, if you went to court, like, to testify as a witness, right? And then I was there to testify. Like, you was like, hey, I seen that guy break into a window. And I was like, hey, I was with him, he was over there, he didn't do it. They would believe you over me just because of your appointment in life. Because using a, you know, you're college educated, you're working for Access and stuff like that. Like, you know, that's cool, I get that. But, nah, nah, you shouldn't be, why is the big people beating up the little people? See what I mean? You should go home.
I'm really trying hard not to make you feel beat up, or like I'm not trying to advocate for you. But
I mean, I want to know specifically why, when these people are a danger to me, you don't say, have any reaction. You have no urge to fill out any paperwork or let me see the evidence or anything. It's only about me.
So, John, I don't have an answer that you're going to accept for that. I think is where we are. I can say whatever I can about that, and no answer is going to be okay for you. I mean, you're not going to be
I mean, I
satisfied
just,
with whatever I say.
to be honest, ma'am, I just appreciate the official state answer, Access answer, whatever it is. You just tell us why it's okay for them to call me a child molester to the police 4 different times. But if we can't do that, that's not, how is it, I just want you, the state, to tell me how that's not a danger to me.
I can't do that, and I'm not the state. I'm not the state, John. So my question is, do I need to have the police come and check on you right now so we can see if you're struggling to the point you might need to go to the hospital, or are you good to leave the building?
If, I think if the police show up while I'm here, after I show them the documentation and some of these bills, I will refuse to leave this property until someone's arrested. I think that's what would happen.
So who needs to be arrested? I'm not.
I don't know, you know, it's one of these corporate things where it's like this person does this and one person does this and they have a little power structure. Don't really care. Don't really care.
So
Hey, I just want people who made money off of my misery to be deprived of their freedom, just like I was. Let me ask you, do you know if your funding for your agency is coming from child support that was collected from other people who had laws broken against them in J&D court, right? Are you making money? Are you getting paid? Maybe it's only a dime per $100 on your check, but that dime is stolen money. That they broke the law against someone to make money.
I know that you see things that way. I don't agree, John, and none of this adds up for me, which makes me feel like that you're not thinking very clearly. It's clear to you, it's definitely not clear.
Well, not thinking clearly isn't necessarily a reason to take someone to the hospital. I have to be a danger to myself or others, right?
And you said, you know, you've been, gotten all kinds of different diagnoses and all this, but I have to tell you, when you talk about this, it seems a little paranoid to me. And I'm not saying that there's not truth to this. I'm just saying I can't make this add up, and I can't connect with you in a way where we can be sure you're going to be safe. I mean, you said you're not going to hurt yourself, but I can't even disconnect
Like I
this
said,
conversation with you.
It doesn't really matter. Me doing something myself, why would that concern you if you allow other people to do it, right?
Well, you said you're not going to do that.
I call it torture. It's where you've made my life very unbearable. But then you refuse to let me kill myself, but then you refuse, and I'm like I said, I'm not like pointing my finger at you for all this stuff, and you're just a person I'm talking to, I don't, I'm not like, the lady in red on the screen, okay? But every time I say you just think Ralph Northam or the big Virginia Seal or something, but I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
That's okay. You said you were not necessarily focusing directly at me. But John, I'm not in a position to be able to answer for whoever you think the state is.
And that's cool too, and I understand that. And it's like, I told the Blacksburg police guy, I actually spoke to them a week or so ago. I didn't have the right documentation apparently to get someone arrested, but we was working on that too. And it's gonna be all right. But I already spoke to them. They understand what's, they looked at the paperwork. Whereas you thought I was paranoid, I believe you said, they didn't call me paranoid.
Well, and there again, John, because you don't trust us, I'm always going to try to be as upfront as I can. So that's why I'm sharing with you that I'm struggling with your thinking process right now. And I actually am very worried about you. And I've been candid with you that I feel like maybe we need to check you out and make sure you don't. Have you been taking your medication?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Every day.
Okay. So if you stop taking the medication, and I know you don't agree, from the perspective maybe of myself or other people that have seen you through mental health, you might continue to experience worse symptoms. So I'm trying to figure out how.
No, ma'am. I'm not yelling. You don't understand. I live my life openly crying in front of people. I can't function. I'm so just down in despair. I've wasted my life. I have no family. No one cares about me. Everyone I meet seems to be in a hurry to stab me in the back. After I do nothing but be nice to people. And then, oh, what happened? Then there they are. Hi, we got you again, Johnny. I don't know how much bad stuff can happen to me before I am allowed to be paranoid. Like if I can say like X amount of crimes were committed against me, and then it be confirmed, and people like, okay, well, yeah, that was illegal. Is there like 5 crimes, 10 crimes before I'm allowed to be paranoid? 15 crimes? At what level am I allowed to be paranoid?
So I don't have a good, it's not paranoid if it all happened to you in some regards, okay? So I know you believe all this happened to you, but when you are sitting here saying, you need an answer from me, and you're saying, I'm the state, I'm making money, those things aren't true, and I'm worried about your thinking that got you to a place where you kind of believe I have the ability to say, did 10 cents of my paycheck come from somebody paying child support to Virginia? And there's no way I could know that. Do we receive a portion of state funding at our agency? Yes. That's not the majority of our funding. It's a very small percentage. And so you are frustrated, I think, with me, and you really want me to be able to do something about the people who wronged you. And I'm struggling because I don't feel like I'm doing a good job conveying that I don't have the ability to impact that.
So if someone went to the magistrate and said, my family member has done X, Y, and Z, and I feel like he is a danger to whoever, the magistrate wouldn't do something, Access wouldn't do something?
You have to be dangerous due to what we would assess to be a mental illness, and if someone went and petitioned, that would be the case. So in this case,
Okay.
you would have to go to a magistrate and lay out your probable cause and see if they would issue. You have the ability to petition a magistrate if you think somebody's dangerous to you due to a mental illness, or to file charges against them.
Well, I have, and the magistrate wouldn't allow me to. So that's my question, is why is it that me just repeating the state policy is worse than what's happened to me? Like, me telling the story of what happened to me is worse than the people who did it to me. You need to go file a petition on Jennifer and Walter Lucas. If you can make this executive decision now to have the police come and check me out, then why don't you call them and say, hey, if these people broke the law against John Ashley and he can prove it, they are clearly a danger to him and they need to be hospitalized.
So here's what I'm gonna do.
And then 3 days later, then you can say, hey, they have a mental illness or they don't. Just like me. I was paranoid, delusional, whatever, the first day, but then come day 3 when I'm getting out, it's like a PTSD. Pretty crazy, huh?
What is the PTSD from? When you say that, do you mean they gave you a different diagnosis or you were experiencing something?
Oh no, it's a different diagnosis. The access person wrote in the paperwork that I was like delusionally paranoid.
And you don't feel like that's true?
Not delusionally. I think I have very real reason to be paranoid. I mean, if I can show the police a bunch of evidence and I can get police from a whole bunch of different jurisdictions to on video say, yes, this is illegal, but no, we can't prosecute any of this. Why would I not be paranoid? I think paranoia in this case is self-preservation. That's how you know I am protecting myself and not trying to allow myself to be harmed.
So I think, you know, when we perceive that there's a danger, and you clearly feel like there's a danger for you, and that people have done horrible things to you, made false accusations against you, they've committed crimes against you, you know, you've been robbed, you've had all these things happen. I think when we feel that way, you know, when we do feel threatened, it's reasonable to be looking for where the threat is. My worry right now is that you do seem paranoid to me, and I'm not clear.
Okay, tell you what, you should call the police down here and tell them to check it out. But if everything I say is true, and I have legitimate reason to be paranoid, what are you going to do? Because you're not going to do nothing to me, what are you going to do to anyone else? Because I'm tired of all the focus 100% being on me.
But the reason I'm on here with you today, John, is I'm trying to help you, but I can't.
No, why don't you help me by protecting me from the people who keep trying to harm me? That's what you're supposed to do, right?
Get you treatment for your mental illness.
Dude, what mental illness? I'm just beat down by these people. If y'all hadn't allowed these people, if the first time I had tried to get them prosecuted, or the first time I had gone and tried to get them taken to a mental hospital so everyone could find out what was going on with them, someone had done something, maybe I wouldn't be in this situation. But you're not to say I'm mentally ill for what's happened to me. Like, let me ask you this. Are you saying the states made me mentally ill? This experience with the police acknowledging criminal activity but refusing to prosecute it, or the fact that all of a sudden, like, I'll wake up in the middle of the night to banging on my door to have police like delivering like protection orders because these people have like cooked up some scheme against me. How about this? How about the 2.5 years they brought my child to this same building and they told the craziest stories to Carrie Youngard, and she reported...
Did you see? So Carrie saw your child?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what you were saying, Carrie reported what? Did you think she was a good treatment provider?
Personally, when I talked to her, I thought she was great. Here, the Lucases, that's the other people's names, the Lucases. She wanted to talk to me, and they refused to give me her, contact me to tell me to call her. And she ultimately had to get my phone number from them to call me. And the day she called me, I got off work at 4 o'clock, I was here at 4:30. But they had 3.5 years to cook up a little scheme with her. So they would allege me abuse Aiden, my son, and then try to persuade her into calling DSS, because they'd already called DSS and lied about me a bunch of times. And as you can't tell, I don't really take this stuff lying down. You know?
I hear you. So this is another situation where you feel like somebody maligned you or really kind of victimized you and did something that was totally out of bounds and got was convinced to kind of collude against you. I mean, I think collude is a good word here. I know that's not the one you would.
No, it's like Miss Youngor, she didn't do nothing malicious to me. She only acted on the information that she was given. If I call the police and be like, hey, I seen like these guys with guns run up in this, whatever, right? And then the police go run up in there, they were only acting on the information they had. And, I can't fault them, just like I can't fault Miss Youngor. Miss Youngor continually tried to have me contact her through them. But after they refused time after time, she had to get my phone number and contact me herself.
All right, so.
And then right after that, they stopped taking him there. That's crazy, huh? That after I got involved,
the people who have custody ever stopped taking the child to therapy. So you felt like they got their needs to use therapy as a tool to get at you.
No, they had a whole case. I didn't even know about this case. They retaliate against me when I go to court. They'll file stuff afterwards. I just continually had to go to court, just nonstop, And I mean, lawyers are lawyers. People don't like them for a reason. I've gone into court and been served. I have my pay. I represent myself a lot, because I wouldn't have the money, to pay for all these lawyers and stuff like they would do. So I'd have to represent myself against these lawyers, and they're in it to win it. I'll give the lawyers that. They're very serious about we will win at any cost. But no, the case with Miss Youngard, they used that 2.5 years to make a case to terminate my custody, and I was not even served with that notice until the morning of court, and I had 0 time to prepare. That's what happened with Miss Youngard. I'm not mad at her for any of this. I'm mad at the fact that so she's a mandatory reporter, right? So they would allege I would have done that. I believe one of the instances they said I had whipped his legs and that he had stripes, bruises on his leg, right? And they told her this, and she's like, wow, that's really bad. Next time that happens, you should take pictures and call DSS, right? Well, they don't do that. They come in and they allege a different thing, or a similar thing, but they did not take the picture, they didn't have the evidence, and they didn't contact DSS. And they continually tried to manipulate Ms. Youngard into contacting DSS. Like, remember how I said, like, you're more credible than I am? Just because where you on Live First Meet, right? You got the nice shirt on, I got the t-shirt, right? It's the same thing. It's the exact same principle. I would believe Ms. Youngard over them too.
These things, Mr. Ashley, is that you felt really powerless and mistreated and maligned, kind of taken advantage of, because you're not in a position of authority or power, and the state and DSS and all these other entities really have put you in a space where now you feel like, so all those things that went on have left you in a place where now we're saying, well, you're mentally unstable. Is that a fair assessment?
If I interpreted what you said correctly, yes.
I know it was a long sentence. Okay. I think you're struggling. I don't know how to get you connected to care.
Let me tell you this, ma'am. See, this is my care. Because I don't think this is some malicious conspiracy against me. I don't think there's someone sitting back there twirling their mustache going, ha, let's get Johnny Ashley. Not at all. I think when they say that this is a state, everything's been done by state policy and this is how we do things, I think they're 100% correct. I think the difference is they put me against the people. I'll take something maybe too far one way, they took it too far the other way. And after it's got taken so far the other way by them continually, here I am with Video King. My great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, my ancestor, that was in the Revolutionary War. He was 14 years old in the Revolution. You know that famous picture of George Washington where they're crossing the Delaware River, they're on the boats and then all the ice and stuff going by? my ancestor's one of the guys in the background. He helped them, capture the Haitians on Christmas morning and all that. At 14 years old. And all I can tell you is, he didn't do all that for me to get treated like this and just roll over and take it. This is me, my metaphorical crossing the Delaware.
And so, John, what I'm struggling with is the pieces, as I said, don't kind of add up. And I feel like you said, so I'm doing this video and I'm going to expose all of this state process and stuff that really works against people and that has been used to malign you. And I can't, I'm struggling with that because...
Okay, if everything I say is 100% accurate though, like that's where you're at, is like, you have to choose not to believe some percentage of what I'm saying, right? I'll look, you got like 200 pieces of paper over there. I can prove everything I'm saying.
So, but I feel like, I know you believe all this, and I know you say I've got this 200 pieces of paper right here, but when you talk to me and you're like, well, your money comes from mistreating people and taking their child support and stealing them, that's the part I'm struggling.
Okay, well, and like I said, I didn't think that they did anything out of different with me than they would have done with anyone else. Right? I just said that, right? That no one was twirling their mustache out to get me, that this would just be the standard operating procedure. Right? So, as a standard operating procedure to acquire more income, and this is just only, that the comet going and then, eclipsing the sun or something. I don't know. It's a rare phenomenon, but like the two live wires crossed.
Okay. So, John, if I get a police officer there, will you talk with that person?
Absolutely, but like I said, if we start talking about how illegal acts have been committed and now I'm getting charged money for this, I have the racketeering laws too. Like, I write all this out. I have all the law numbers. I spend a lot of time. Okay? So everything I'm saying is 100% correct. Someone's going to have to get locked up. If your agency, if this, I understand there's like different agencies that work here at the 700 building, right? There's different agencies, or can I just say the 700 building?
No, it's all New River Valley Community Services. It's different.
Okay. So if New River Valley Community Services knew in 2015 that what they had done with me for taking me, what I said was accurate, but they never contacted anyone. They never, once again, didn't tell the state that, hey, we have heard your policies and we locked this guy up for repeating what your policies were, right? That would seem to be like due diligence. Or if, anything had been done. I think I went to Lewis Gale, Salem. If they had contacted anyone, but I can't find any documentation of anyone contacting anyone. So now, even though we knew it, and we have the records, it's proven now that what I said was true. Y'all never told anyone. You let it keep going. And now, you want to extort me for $1,200.
Okay,
And
hang on 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to end this conversation with you because I don't feel like it's been helpful to you and I don't think you want to talk to law enforcement. Is that correct?
Why would I be scared to speak to them?
Huh?
I mean, you're the one who keeps bringing them up.
I'm worried about you. I'm worried about you.
You should be. I'm a crime victim that the state refused to protect.
I can't continue just to have a circular conversation with you, Mr. Ashley. I'm going to have to take your word that you're not going to hurt yourself or anybody else.
Okay.
And that's accurate. You said that to me several times.
Several times. Got it on video. You got all your liability cleared.
So I also want to say to you about your video, though, I really don't want you to post that on social media because I have a right to privacy too. And I agree.
Shit, I have a right to have a family and not have to move 1,600 miles away to see my son. I should have a right to report crimes. I should have a right to be protected.
Okay, so what we're into here? I mean, there's an officer there that can come talk to you if you want to talk to
I just keep waiting for your screen to shut off and I'll pick up my papers and walk away, ma'am. If I'm interviewing someone, I can't be getting up from the interview and leaving while it's still going.
Well, and so I want us to be clear. I would like to do something to help you. I don't feel like we're making headway and getting you another appointment. I'm not interested in being part of your expose, and I don't give you permission to share this video that includes me anywhere. I hear you saying you're safe. I can't fix the things you need me to do.
That's pretty crazy how like you can film the police, you can go get their body camera footage, but all of a sudden you worry about what you said.
I'm not worried about what I said. I'm telling you, I don't give you permission to use the video of me.
Okay.
I'm not worried about what I said because I called to talk to you and support you. I didn't call to be part of your expose.
They called the police on me multiple times. When I sat here and spoke about how I was a crime victim, you said I was crazy and you was going to call the police on me and I was going to leave in handcuffs.
That's not what I said.
I mean, I summed up a paragraph in a sentence.
So, law enforcement's there at the building. Do you want to talk to the officer?
Well, if I choose to speak to him, I'll choose to speak to him. I guess cops are here, that's my cue to leave, so you have a good evening, ma'am. Which way's out?
Are you trying to bring out one this way?
I was going to the steps there. I've never been back here before, I'm lost.
Oh, yeah, if you want to have a seat out here, we'll get you scheduled,
We'll get you to
okay?
the waiting room and get you scheduled.
I don't think they wanted me to come back.
Oh, well, just have a seat right here and I'll double check with her and make sure,
Yeah.
okay?
That's okay, no.
I'm getting
Day.
If you want to have a seat, I'll double check with her.
It's okay, I know that trick. Goodbye.
Hey, how are you?
What's up, officers? How y'all doing today?
Good, how are you?
Wow, I remember you guys.
Yeah, you remember me?
Yeah, y'all got the same haircut. I need to have the same one.
You got more than I do.
Y'all can't see the top of it. That's gonna be the same height. That's all
Well,
it is.
you still got more than me, buddy.
Let's not make this a competition now. Let's not make this a competition.
So you want to step outside?
Sure.
You getting ready to leave, or?
Yeah, they told me you
Okay.
guys were here for me, so I figured I'd greet you instead of trying to run off.
Well, let's step
You know?
outside so we ain't making too much noise for everybody,
Certainly.
okay?
You gotta go around the maze.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm walking the wrong way here.
Turned out to be a nice day out, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
So what's going on today?
Huh? Just filming, sir.
Okay, nothing wrong with that.
No, sir.
Mind if I sit down here with you?
Oh, by all means.
I'll
All
sit right
means.
next to you. Oh, yeah, right there. So,
Right here in the shade, nice little spot, ain't
oh,
it?
yeah, yeah. See here, you had an appointment today, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, everything go good with that?
Well, just wanted to document the conversation, and they couldn't speak to me. They had to put me on the phone with access, and then the cops show up.
Okay.
So
You say anything or do anything or?
Yeah, the moment he heard I had a video camera rolling, that was it, call access.
Who was it? Remember their name?
Who the access or the doctor?
The doctor that called access and us, I guess. I don't know.
I got a cord in my pocket.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Did he just not like being videotaped or something? Is that?
Oh yeah, well see, I started talking about how the state funding works with my issues, and I accused, it, I mean it's factual if everything I say is, right with the spending bills and everything, how the state doesn't prosecute the J&D, crimes in J&D court. Like in my case, I had some strangers pretty much lied about me continually until they could take my kid. I got all my documentation here. I also have video of multiple different law enforcement agencies reviewing the paperwork and agreeing with me that that's what happened. Okay. Right? Because I wouldn't expect anyone to take my word on it. They're better off taking the cop's word, right? You guys reputable, huh?
That doesn't mean you're not reputable.
Well, that's what I was trying to explain to them. I said, well, y'all got the nice shirt and I got the t-shirt, so you're kind of more reputable. I know on DC, y'all got t-shirts on too.
Oh yeah. If I ain't wearing this, I'm wearing a t-shirt, brother.
No, there's some people who wear t-shirts and there's people who wear polos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, so, no, they seem to be very, I'm honestly kind of surprised that,
Yeah?
I guess I must have asked the right questions.
What questions did you ask?
May I?
Yeah.
It's one of them things you say, look.
So you're making me hungry looking at that Wendy's bag.
Oh man, I don't even eat fast food, sir.
That's all right.
All right, well.
I looked at most of it. This is new.
Yeah, this one here, this is I'm sorry.
That's all right.
That's
Oh no, I saw that last time, yeah. I was here last time, remember?
Yeah, but I don't think this is actually the same one because I didn't flip through it for real. I see it sitting there and maybe I, but the one from 2015, which would have been the one that you had seen.
Yeah.
All right, well, I went in to file a complaint about it because I think, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, if everything I said was accurate, maybe I shouldn't have been taken off to a mental institution. I found it peculiar that everything that the state's done to me in J&D court and DSS and all that was all above the board with every grievance and complaint that I filed. But when I repeat this to Access, they said I was delusional and whatever, and I have to be injected with drugs and have my freedom taken from me. Right? So I go and I file a complaint.
Okay.
When I file the complaint, they again try to take my freedom from me. You know what happened to me after I seen you guys that night? Y'all know what I did? I ran up on the police with a screwdriver, trying to make them kill me.
Okay. Why'd you do that?
Because I wanted to die.
Why?
Because my life is trash.
Oh, you like that trash, brother.
Tell me why it's not.
You got a lot to live for, man.
I have no family. I have no hometown. My closest relative is like 1,000 miles away. People here treat me like trash. I have no friends. I try to be friendly and nice as possible.
Yeah.
People just do not like me here. I'm a square peg for a round hole. I've sat here 12 years. I probably spent half my Christmases by myself. I've worked with the same people probably half that time. They ain't never invited me for Christmas, Thanksgiving, nothing. No one. I'm gonna sit there by myself. And that's cool. Ain't no one obligated to be nice to me. Right. No one's obligated to take that extra step. No one's obligated to stop and help someone change a tire.
Right.
But with that one guy who does stop and help, he's appreciated. Ain't no one really stand up for anything I'm gonna appreciate.
Right.
It's just, we're here and you're here. So tired of being by myself, tired of being mistreated, tired of just, it's tough, bro. Yeah. It's tough. Like I've been in prison, I've been locked up, I spent like fair share of my 20s, in and out, just doing my thing. And it's like isolation. It's like just being locked in like a solitary cell. Yeah. But it's worse because like you're surrounded by people, but you try to talk to them. I walk up to complete strangers at Walmart. Hey man, how's it going? Hey, I like that movie you're getting. People freak out on me like I'm doing something wrong.
And that's not just you. I mean, people are just like that in general.
I mean, people.
I brought
today's society is more assholes than nice guys.
People in Colorado just got a different vibe. Different.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Colorado got its reputation, I guess, for having a little bit of a hippie vibe. But
Well, that,
You know, just different parts of the country will act
Yeah.
different ways and
Oh, yeah.
stuff.
you could probably go to Floyd and do that, and people will be more than.
Well, and see, here's the thing too. I can walk up and like talk to someone, but it's not going to be more than like a superficial
Right.
altercation. And it's, you know, it gets tiring after all that time of, you know,
Yeah.
trying to go out and talk to people. I'm trying so hard to assimilate and be with people, and it's just all just rejection. Just,
Yeah.
we don't want you. Just be by yourself, Johnny. Be by yourself, Johnny. Be by yourself, Johnny. You know. I've told them this already.
Yeah.
They already know this. Don't be running up and snatching me or nothing.
Nah.
But I mean, if I
I
might
ain't
go,
snatched you yet, have I?
no.
Got
Doesn't
no
mean you
reason to,
won't.
brother.
3 times last year I tried to kill myself. I didn't try to kill myself. I just took a handful of pills,
Yeah.
gambling on the outcome.
Okay.
My neighbors, I used to hang out with them. And I don't know what I did to them, but they stopped inviting me over, stopped talking to me. I don't know what I did to them. I'm a nice guy, easygoing.
Yeah.
They're a little bit heavy drinkers. I'm not a heavy drinker. I don't like that
And that could
out
be
of
a
control
reason.
feeling,
That
you know?
could be a reason right there.
Because you're not
Yeah,
doing
you're-
what they like.
Oh no, I mean
to do.
I'll sit there with the beer. I'll just drink 1 beer the time it takes them to
Yeah,
drink 3.
right.
You know, but I'll still hold, that's what it's all about. You gotta hold the beer can.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it can be empty. No one knows.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah. So last year, all 3 times, like a Friday or Saturday night, and I'd just be sitting there by myself, crying in bed, listening to them partying, having a great time. You know, so let's gamble. Let's go to the casino and gamble. Let's just take a handful of Benadryl or whatever, and let's just see what happens. And I did that 3 times last year. Like I said, I already told them. They already know that.
Yeah.
Don't follow. You ain't got to. I'm not saying nothing about me now today.
Yeah.
But, you know, so that's why. That's why, because every day I'm here, I'm an Army kid, so I didn't even go to Colorado until I was 17.
Yeah.
Now, I don't have a hometown. I don't have
No.
a place that my family's from. I literally have nowhere that I can show up and people happy to see.
Now, did you go into the military like your father?
No, sir.
Okay, just your dad was in it?
Now, he was a DOD civilian.
DOD, okay.
Yeah, that's why we actually spent so much time in Europe. I grew up in Europe,
Right.
like until I was 17.
Okay.
If he was regular military, he would have been rotated
Oh,
and
yeah, he's
rotated
been
out.
all over, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he was all over Europe, in Turkey, and he was in Ethiopia. And they had a coup in the 70s,
Oh, wow.
and but never stateside.
Yeah.
You know, he taught at the school, so they didn't. The teachers, the DOD teachers, they only are overseas. You know, and we was only on the Atlantic theater. We never made it over the Pacific.
Okay.
I never got to go to Okinawa or nothing. I heard South Korea's not worth going to, but yeah.
So have you been coming here regularly, or?
No, sir,
today
it's my
the
first appointment.
First one?
Yes,
Since
sir.
the last time we talked?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And
Who set that up? Did you or did they?
they did.
They did?
They did.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's kind of weird. They want to have this aftercare appointment. No one wants their words to be repeated.
Yeah.
You know, especially when I start talking about federal funding bills, and I think, see, they like to kind of manipulate my words. That there's a conspiracy against me. No, there's not a conspiracy against me. When all these state agencies, DSS, or the police departments, or J&D Court, when they refuse to J&D Court refused to prosecute people perjuring themselves, right? First of all, they seem to be mad that I've got like PTSD off of people being able to break the law against me with no repercussion for years, you know. But they're like, oh, you think it's some conspiracy against you? No, I don't. I think it's completely standard operating procedure, and this is how the state gets its funding from. Y'all hear me talk about the Social Security bill last time? Okay,
yeah.
then y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't
yeah.
trying to say that long ass name
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Title IV, Section D, you know. I think that it's completely normal that if the state, if the J&D court can find a way to separate a parent from a child. See, ask yourself this. Why does it the DSS has to be a failed drug test? It has to be probable cause to take someone's child from them, right? And you guys couldn't really even go take someone's kid. Let's get a court order,
Exactly.
DSS was involved, or it was like an imminent harm situation.
Right.
Those are 3 ways you could take a kid, and that's it, right? But J&D Court, we prove people lie, that don't matter. You know, I can be his child's dad. I've passed every drug test. I've been employed. I've done literally everything I'm required to do. I don't have no probable cause, but that's okay. You know why?
because now they get federal money.
Mm.
They get more money from Social Security, Title IV, Section D. These people, we didn't even get to talk about all the suicide numbers I've researched.
Yeah, I
You
remember
know.
you saying you were researching that.
Yeah. You know, I mean, check this out, bro. Tell me this. If suicide stopped, mental illness stops, what are these people doing?
Yeah.
They don't have to go get real jobs. They don't have to wear nice shirts like you guys. They don't know more polos.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna be sweating it out in the sun in a couple months, ain't they?
Digging ditches and building roads, right?
Right? So, I've always found it.
Let me go talk to her.
Yeah.
Excuse me,
So I
Mr.
didn't want to interrupt y'all's conversation.
Excuse me. Sergeant Carlson, talk to you, man.
Hot in that sun.
I always thought it was a very interesting roof.
Yeah. It's kind of weird, isn't it?
When I did roofing, like we were supposed to like make sure there wasn't holes,
Yeah.
and not here.
I guess that, maybe it was too dark in here or something, I don't know. Beats me.
If they kind of put like plexiglass, like a window over it, though, I think it just get covered in bush. It'd just be dirty.
I
And
think it would too.
they probably started with that, and then they're like, "No, we're done cleaning this. We're done cleaning it."
Yep, it is weird. It's kind of defeats the purpose of having a roof when you put holes in it.
That's what I'm saying.
It's kind of like a skylight.
I've been saying, bro, if I brought my superintendent over here and I said I was done, he'd be like, "Yeah, you done working here."
Is that what you do? Roofing?
I've done it. I've done a lot of construction.
Yeah.
That's been kind of like my little niche here. I speak really good Spanish.
Oh, okay.
And I never took it in school or nothing. I learned from Mexicans working at McDonald's, and then, you know, it progressed from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I speak, like when I speak Spanish to Mexicans, they're like, he's Mexican. My job had a Dominican guy who worked, I had no idea what he was saying.
Yeah.
None. Like, he spoke Spanish. But
Yeah.
God, you speak Spanish, he speaks Spanish.
Different dialect or something like that?
I mean, it's like a little island off in the ocean, you know, hundreds of miles from Mexico. That's just like British or Australian or,
I've been to the Dominican.
I call it island Spanish because like I have a tough time with Puerto Ricans too.
Yeah.
I kind of get it better. Like Cuban, no way.
Really?
No way. They got competitive speed talk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Ricky Ricardo in there.
Yeah. I can't keep up with that.
And we don't know who he's talking to in there or what's being said or anything like that.
No,
My entire interaction with everyone has been videotaped.
okay.
I've said multiple times to that lady, I ain't hurting me. I ain't hurting anyone else.
Right.
And then she wanted to put more words in my mouth. You know, let's not make today take a bad turn. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
That's what I'm saying. I got my evidence that
Yeah.
I've been
And that's
above
what-
board. That's all I'm saying.
Not why we're here. We're here because we can call them and we have.
I got you, bro.
Yeah.
I got you. Just like I said, I don't know what's going on over there. Some girl I don't know against them who I had no contact with is,
Yeah.
you know, you can understand this from my point of view. And plus, after, you know, they've already wrongfully taken me, and they seem to really have a tough time admitting. Now, she also said I was making this stuff up. It didn't matter that I had paperwork, that I had videotape of law enforcement looking at the paperwork. What I was saying was just still somehow inaccurate, you know. But, so, I guess we'll just get to it this then. They give me this bill here, $1,200. Yeah, for attempted suicide. For my life being so bad that I tried to have someone else take it. $1,200.
Still you $1,200.
All right, so let me ask you this, boss. I can only pretend to be a legal scholar, but in reality, you might know a little bit more about the law than me. You might know more about the criminal law.
Yeah, probably.
You only know criminal law. I know.
Civil and stuff.
Yeah, there's plenty of other laws.
Yeah.
And so, if they knew that in 2015 that they had taken me for a wrong reason, for an inaccurate reason,
Okay.
right? If my story checked out, I had my documentation. I said, I don't go nowhere without it no more.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going, they don't believe me. Too bad. I got 2 pieces of paper here telling my story. You know, and so if they knew that, they didn't contact the state to let the state know that, and this is what I was talking about last time, right? To let the state know Because I have looked into it.
Yeah.
And I have not been able to find anything about the state being contacted, anyone being contacted about the 2015 thing. Apparently it was just okay, right? So, is this like racketeering now? That because of criminal activity committed against me, it's like they're profiting off of criminal activity.
Yeah, I mean, if it.
I'm a crime victim.
What you're saying is,
I told,
yeah, it's kind of like fraud, is what, you know.
I've been researching all the different variations of RICO. That's, I mean, that's got to be a book in itself.
Oh, yeah. Well, they got whole departments in the FBI that only deal with RICO.
I mean, you're like, oh, RICO, what is it? It's a four-letter word. How tough can it be? Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, well, you find this number. Oh, that's this. And then we got to click on this. Then we got to find this here. Ain't no easy answer sometimes.
No, there isn't.
But, yeah, I'm thinking that this should be qualifying now with some degree of organized crime. If they, see, they refuse to protect me, they refuse to, the people who are allowed to break the law against me, they're not a danger to me where they can be hospitalized or institutionalized. But for me only telling my story, I am, just like she said, being paranoid or something about what I'm saying just can't be true.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of just spiraling me kind of further down the hole. I'm not saying I'm going to do nothing today or nothing like that, okay?
Yeah.
You know, if y'all have guns and badges, I wouldn't keep doing it. Well, I did to her too, but she had a phone with guns and badges on the other end. You know, but I'm just saying, if they can't show that they done called someone, that they contacted the state and said, hey, you know, we mistook your policy for mental illness, right? Either maybe policy needs to change, maybe what they define as mental illness needs to change. Who am I to say the state needs to change that policy? There's different ways it could be handled. But if it hasn't been handled, the initiation of changing the situation hasn't been done, and they're going to give me a $1,200 bill for it, I'd like to see someone be arrested for this, because this is, they're profiting off of criminal activity. And there's not really, okay, I guess I shouldn't say there's no dispute that because I'm looking at it from one point of view.
Right.
But, you know, and just because like crimes that happen in J&D court or people lying to DSS, that's not stuff that you can initiate the prosecution on, right? But that doesn't mean it's not a crime.
Right.
Right?
Right.
If I mean, call me old-fashioned, but I think if I can prove criminal activity happened to me one way or another, you don't have, even if it's not prosecuted, it can still be acknowledged that something happened, you know, and but they can't acknowledge it. They can't call no one. They can't say one thing that helped change my situation. Mentally ill, so they can keep sending me
Is that a bill?
$1,200 bills.
Mind if I look at it?
No, sir, go ahead.
Thank you.
So I said,
Goodness gracious.
That's with insurance.
Ooh, what insurance cover? Anything?
I'd hate to see it without it. I mean, I wasn't in a helicopter or nothing.
Yeah.
You know, all them times, you know, I've been there with the cops and they're like, oh, you need an ambulance, Mr. Ashton? I'm like, hell no, I'll walk it off. Because of that.
well, unless you're in Blacksburg, it's free in Blacksburg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them college kids need some free ambulance
Well,
rides, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah, that's why they make it free, so they don't hesitate to call for, you know,
Yeah.
alcohol poisoning.
Oh yeah, well yeah. I mean, the rest of the county, they ain't gonna tell Charlottesville, hey, yeah, you can get a free ambulance ride for your OD.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd like to see an initiation of since they've had their opportunity to try to correct their actions, and they have decided not to do that. Then I guess I'm going to have to go to the next step, and I'm going to have to request law enforcement to initiate.
I would think, yeah, I mean, I think it would be like a state agency.
Well, let me ask you this: are state agencies allowed to break the law?
No. but I
Is a
mean-
state agency going to come into your town or Blacksburg
But I mean,
and start
that's-
breaking the law?
That's who would have to investigate it, a state agency, because they're like a state institution.
And see how people lose faith in the system. I already got the state police on video looking at this. I filed the complaints. And it's all fine. And there are people, you know, the times that happened, now the turbulent times we're in. There's so many people out there that have their own personal grudge or their reason not to be happy, they're feeling disenfranchised
Yeah.
because of, and it's all stuff like this. You know, ain't no one in the same situation. I mean, I ain't in the same situation as anyone else. We all have our own struggles. We all carry our own crosses. But we all got tired of carrying the crosses. You know, this is my cross now. You know,
I hear you.
she wanted to keep, I'm sure, she probably doesn't call the cops like 10 times. I'm just like sitting there like, okay, like what? You're going to, I don't want you leaving handcuffs. I'm like, well, I'm just sitting here trying to talk to you.
Yeah.
Like, why would I leave in handcuffs? I said, hey, these people here, we got video of the police saying they've been breaking the law against me. That's not a danger to me. Why don't you go investigate them? Well, we can't do that. She refused to tell me the whole time. I can't get a straight answer as to why these people can't be evaluated. If I repeat the state policy, and that sounds too crazy for them, and I have to, deprive them of my freedom for 3 days, but then they tell me that they can't be taken because there's no evidence of them being mentally, that's not what they said. But I guess evidence of mental illness was one of the qualifiers for taking it. Well, I'm like, well, hell, law enforcement won't help me. And then the mental health people like, oh, they're breaking the law against you, but they don't seem to be mentally ill, so it's all right. I mean, I'm supposed to try. You know? I mean, for real, and y'all cops, and y'all cool, man. Y'all cool. I've met some asshole cops.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all guys cool, man.
Yeah, we know.
I say just in general, Blacksville's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Y'all chill back, lay back town, have laid back cops. Usually.
We try to be cool.
Yeah. But
He's got a lot to learn, but
Yeah. I'm pretty cool.
one day he'll get off the porch, man. I got faith in this guy.
Yeah,
He's got a
he's
good
all right.
haircut.
he's all right.
My haircut's better than yours.
We got the same haircut.
You guys like compare beige, like, hey man, I got the Quattro. You know, I was using the big.
No, I ain't done that.
You ever sit there and look at each other and be like, oh, you missed a spot. Hold on, let me get that for you.
Yeah.
No, I usually make sure when I get done, I rub my hand over and I'm like, oh.
Oh, there's a spot.
I missed
See,
one.
that's what I do with my hair too. 'Cause you'd always feel it.
Oh, yeah.
And girls have always been like, what are you doing? I'm like, look at my hair.
I missed a spot. Yep, right there.
Yeah, you just feel that one little bristle and you're like, one on top.
You just know.
All right, well, Mr. Coleman, you kind of missed that part of the conversation with him. So, because now they're profiting, I would say it appears that they are profiting off of criminal activity now.
Okay.
There was nothing wrong with them taking me in 2015 for repeating the state policy, even though I was upset about it and filed a complaint. Instead of them forwarding forwarding the issue to the state and saying, hey, your policy is making people sound mentally ill, they turned around and tried to have me put in a hospital again, which didn't work that time because these people are crazy. So, because they've refused to contact any agency above, they've refused, and then, I mean, I kind of think I got retaliated against for even filing a complaint.
Okay.
If I'm talking to them like I'm talking to you guys, I'm not doing anything to cause, concern or ill temper. You're not like, this guy,
Yeah.
And so instead of doing anything with that information, they retaliated against me. It's just kind of pushing me farther away, and they're just sitting there like, hey, something's going to happen to him. We're going to get $1,200 next time.
More money.
I think they're profiting off criminal activity, and I'd like to see someone prosecuted.
Okay. Might need to call the Commonwealth's attorney. Talk to her.
You know what? I have spoken to her,
Okay.
Mary Pewitt, and she is a very nice lady. She actually returned my email. Rarely can I even get people to do that.
Right.
Oh man, I watch my P's and Q's. I'm
Yeah.
so polite.
Pretty good about it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? I wish more elected officials remembered they was elected officials.
Exactly.
They say elected, but they're appointed. But she had told me that she can't initiate anything, and it has to be initiated by law enforcement.
Okay.
So that would be you guys. Pretty sure you guys. You're not law enforcement, are you? No.
No, we just stayed at the Holiday Inn Express last night.
Oh, you need the guy with the drums in the
That's right.
I
background.
found all this stuff with the Goodwill.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
picked it up.
Oh, we were just walking by and broke in the back of police crews. I found the cool vests and
Yeah.
stuff, man.
Exactly.
See, I knew y'all weren't real cops, you got different masks on.
What's that?
I knew y'all weren't real cops, y'all got different masks on.
Yeah.
It's,
He's got the special one on.
I thought we were done with them too,
But I thought we were too.
but hadn't heard anything yet.
You know, I can understand it inside, you know,
Yeah.
circulated air and all that, and outside fresh air in the summer. Well, maybe, I understand like a Woodstock or something, maybe you wouldn't want it,
If
but,
you're right on top of
Or
something.
Yeah.
Colorado.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone in the state lives in like a little like 40-mile strip.
Yeah.
You know, and then the rest of the state's completely empty.
Yep.
You know,
Well, them flowers are bothering me, so.
that's my hay fever season.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what can we do? So it's either, like I said, I already talked to her. I asked her if I look far enough back, I'll sure find the email where she's saying it. So we're gonna start that here. Or we going downtown?
There's a sergeant right
I
there.
don't know what, see, I'm not familiar with what happened.
Oh, is he the ranking officer?
He's the ranking officer.
Oh man, you've been talking down to your CO this whole time,
Oh, yeah.
man.
He's
Yeah.
not like that.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been talking to him thinking he was in charge. I'm sorry about that, man.
No.
That's why he'll probably be fired after this.
He's,